Yo, what's going on, guys? Ron here, aka Neos, and today I want to talk about two topics. What I want on the ban list, what I feel like might be on the ban list, I guess, and the future of Maliss and Ryzeal, given what the ban list could or could not be. So, this is going to be quick. I already have cards laid out. Spoilers, not all of these may go where you think they are. But we're gonna cruise through this. Starting off, we're gonna start left to right. Talent goes to 1. This card's broke. This card deserves to go to 1. 3 effects on it that are absolutely broken. 2 of them are banned. One of them's at 1. Yeah, this card needs to go to 1. It's just. This card just has so much that it can put up. Like, people are scared of this card. Like, they don't want to play into this card because they don't want their hand ripped. Which I like. When you build your board and know what your opponent has exactly in their hand, you shouldn't lose, right? Like, you really shouldn't lose. Moving on, Bonfire. Bonfire shouldn't go down to more than 2 if they hit this card. Bonfire is a once per turn. It is not a Rhoda. It is not a true Rhoda. It is not a soft or like a non once per turn card that you can use, right? Like, you use 1 Bonfire. If you got 2 other Bonfire in your hand, that's it. Whereas Rhoda, you can be like, Rhoda, Ash, cool. Rhoda, like, not cool. If anything, this card should be hit to 2. The only reason they're going to hit this card to 1 is because they have 7th out and they want to sell it. So we'll just get this out of the way. This is going to go to 1. Dweller, banned. This card's too good. Any effect in the graveyard. If this got a rewrite and it said like only monsters or something like that, that'd be fine maybe. But no, this card's too good. Card's way too good. Moving on from that, Druid's Worm goes to 1. Being able to crash into stuff during the during like the damage step, sending stuff to graveyard is really good right now. It's also because of Maliss. Like, Maliss is too good right now. Like, this is just another thing that they can use. It's just way too good. Moving on, Moon should be banned. I will speak more about the Fiendsmith stuff as a whole together. Remove the generic ability to access the Fiendsmiths. They will be a much more bearable archetype and sub-engine if your opponent, like, you hard stop your opponent and you're like their opponent, you drolled them, ashed them, imperv them, like all 3 of those, right? And they're like looking at their field in their hand, and they got 2 cards, and they link it off for this stupid girl, right? And then you reel back in your chair or in your head at least, and you're like, oh my god, bro, oh, like because now you have you have something that you're gonna have to deal with. You're gonna have to DDD. You're gonna have the Desiree, which are both unfun. So yeah, moving on. Cross out to 1. This card is way too good. Going first is already way too strong. You don't need a card that says, I'm a free extender. Especially when it doesn't turn off your own hand traps. At least with Call by the Grave, if you have, let's say, like Ash in hand, right? And your opponent ashes one of your effects, you have to make a choice. You're like, do I kill my own Ash here? Do I really need this to resolve? Right? Is that what I need here? And, if you're like, all right, you're willing to take that, like, you kill one of your own hand traps, right? Assuming it's a monster, obviously, right? Ash, Ogre, Veiler, Ghost Spell, all that other good stuff, right? If you really want whatever that effect was to resolve, you pay the price by not being able to using it yourself, right? Whereas cross out, you don't get punished. You just go, oh, cool, Ash, call Ash. And then you just get cooked. Fun fact, Lancia kills this card because it has the banish. So if your opponent if you're playing against a Maliss player or something, and you have to, like, you have a way to, like, bait out, like, their cross out or something, right? Like, on, bait it out on, like, Whitebinder, and then you chain Ash to it, and then they chain this, and then you chained, Lancia, boom. This card's dead. Moving on, though. Ban Griffin. Griffin's too good. Locking out of special summon monsters on the field is way too good. Excuse me. Every deck right now is special summoning. You're not playing flu out here. It's just this being a lingering monster floodgate, especially with a bow being a thing, is just way too good. The only reason Maliss doesn't, or Ryzeal cares less about this card is because of this. And you just send Aggregator, eat the effect, right? And then you negate it. And then you have to have another like Bonfire, Ryzeal, or 7th in your hand, which is, bad, but you just turn this off. Alert a 1 in Maliss that says, let me draw 2 cards and start my combo for free. It's just too good. It's too good. It's, yeah. Ghost needs to be banned. This is just a better field spell for Maliss. And in the mirror, if you start with field spell, because you control a card, you can get hit with the Dominus Impulse. This prevents you from getting hit with Dominus. If you lead with this, if this is your only starter, you cannot get hit with Dominus Impulse because you don't control a card. Too good. Just ban this card. It's at 1 for a reason, and with Maliss, I think it needs to be put in the grave. EXT. I want to say this card needs to go to 2. This card needs to go to 1. It's too good. It really is just too good. It's the best starter. It gives you follow up in the graveyard. It allows you to break boards. It's just too good. Card is too good. Period. Moving on. Track needs to go to 1. This card just plays around Droll for the most part. Like, you literally search Lurie, discard Lurie effect, chain Droll, and they just go. Your opponent looks at their hand, they go, "Heh, sure, man, cool," and then they just full Fiendsmith combo you unless you have Imperm, and it's just or Ash because you're just sad. Engraver maybe should go to 2. My humble opinion, leave the card alone. I love Fiendsmith as a sub engine, and I think if you just ban Moon, it fixes the problem. Don't make Fiendsmith generic. Make them have to draw into it, play an engine that supplements it, something, right? Like with me at the Mitsurugis and the Ryzeals, right? I play something that supplements both engines. I can make a rank 4 that says search a reptile. I can make my duo drive with my 2 reptiles. You force your opponent to play with a brain instead of going, "Oh, earthy dirt, I have 2 monsters on the field. Let me just make Moon." Right? Like any a monkey with a lobotomy can make, do Fiendsmith stuff. I played Fiendsmith Cash for a while, right? It's brainless. It's brainless. No offense to all the, the Fiendsmith Cash lovers out there. If you're a good player, you're a good player. Shout out to my boy Tito. Tito, phenomenal player. I dog on Fiendsmith Cash, not because he plays it, but just because I think the deck is just bad. It's just a bad deck. It's literally just carried by Fiendsmith, and it's carried by specialing either Fenrir and or the Unicorn on the field. Just because those 2 cards are relatively decent, right? Interaction on the field that you have to interact with and deal with. And then being backed by the recursion of the Fiendsmith, which obviously because of Birth, you have that recursion as well, being able to always to put the cashiers back on the board. It's very annoying, especially when you play 25 hand traps. But overall, that's really it. I don't think I have anything else I want to talk about that's related to the ban list. I'm pretty happy with that. Go ahead and one last look at it. This is my opinion. I really don't feel like Bonfire should be hit. I feel like that should be left at 3, but Tachyon. Let's talk about the future of Ryzeal. This is the future of Ryzeal right here. Mitsurugi. If you get hit with, let's say, I put EXT and Bonfire to 1 in this deck, and we're playing the search target for Tachyons. Look at this. You can supplement, which I'm already doing with the Mitsurugi engine, and it doesn't matter. Like I said, I felt like maybe playing 7 Tachyon, you didn't really need it, but I felt like since if EXT gets hit to 1, you just play this at 5, and or you could even do this and play this, because now you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 EXTs in your deck with this at 7. But I feel like playing like this is you're basically playing, the ice as well, right? So you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 basically ice in your deck. And when Star comes out, you know, that's obvious, right? Star is gonna be crazy. Being able to be like normal this, special this, search this if you already have another follow up, and then just cooking your opponent if they Asher, because like they're gonna watch you like use this, like add this to hand, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, do I even do it? Do I even hit the dual drive? Because it's just not gonna matter. It's super crazy. But anyways, I firmly really believe that going on, this and Fiendsmith will be by far the best way to play Ryzeal. They already are. Like if you're playing pure Ryzeal, unless you're playing with the Sharks, with like, yeah, that's better, because your end board's better. But I just firmly believe that just the recursion with the Fiendsmiths and the recursion and board presence that the Mitsurugis provide to the Ryzeals is just way better. Right, pure is like very like high floor, low ceiling. Always make detonator, pass. Right, draw 3 cards, draw 3 cards with Dugaras and Cross. Where this the Fiendsmiths and the Mitsurugis have a more interactive, you know, back and forth. Right, like, oh, are you gonna ash this? You're gonna imperm this? Are you gonna stop me here? There's a lot of like, you know, intricacies in the deck that allow you to like play around your opponent and play your opponent. And like you have cards that your opponent has to deal with. Your opponent has to deal with Saji. Like if I normal Saji, my opponent I don't think there's ever been a time that my opponent has not had a hand trap, and I normal Saji and they look at it and they're like, take it out back and shoot it. Like they imperm this card, ash this card, target it with a nuke, blow it up, kick it to the floor, stomp on it, burn it. Like if this card gets normal, they immediately hit this card. And then, you know, the force discard off the Mitsurugis plus this adding follow-up is just crazy, right? So, like, you can, like, there's been so many times that I'm playing this deck, and I'm like, all right, I have 3, 4 cards in hand, maybe, right? I've had, like, I got the chance to do Dugaras and stuff like that. And my opponent's like, how many cards do you have in hand? I'm like, oh, you know, I've got 2 cards on my hand, 2 cards set. You know, this is the board, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, all right, cool. And at the end of the turn, as they played into my board, I ripped a card out of their hand. And, you know, all this other, you know, gobbledygook, right, that they've had to play through. The Omni Negate, this one set imperm that I might have had. You know, maybe the one Ash or, you know, Ogre that I had in my hand, or the Bestial. After all of that, they're like, how many cards you have in hand? I'm like, 4, because I've added a card off of Saji. I've added a card back off of, you know, Kusanagi. I've added a card off of the prayers because of this, right? It's, you know, so I've added 3 more cards as follow-up back to my hand. And then, the start of my next turn, I can banish this to target a reptile in my graveyard, special it back, and then, you know, tribute something else. So if I tribute one of these, I could do this, tribute this if it's on the field, special one of these back, or this if I want a 4. And then effect, you know, add it back, and I got 4. That's 4 cards. All right, I didn't even need to draw a Dugaras. I have 4 cards, and if Cross is on the field, I drew 5. I have 5, because now I'm gonna draw a card, right? Like the follow up is insane. It's insane. So, like I said, going forward, this will be the best way to play Ryzeal, right? Too much to deal with, too much recursion, too much board presence. This is a 3200 beat stick. You can just crash over detonator and make them detach materials. Oh, detach, like, and then also these are protected from destruction because of these cards. So like, if your opponent if you're playing in a Ryzeal and they have detonator in the field, they can't even pop your rituals, because if these are on the field, you'll tribute these, and you haven't used the effect yet, you'll get the effect. And it's on resolution of destruction. Your opponent, it doesn't activate. I don't know how many times that they're like, oh, that doesn't activate. I'm like, no, it just happens, dude. Right? And look, see, if another, like, it literally says it right here. Let me see if I can move this over just so we can see it better. If another reptile monster you control be destroyed with a battle card effect, comma, you can tribute this card instead. Period. If you hit Kusanagi, if you hit another Saji, it doesn't matter if it's the same. If I have 2 Saji on the field, I can protect the other one. If it's one of the rituals, protect. Easy. No matter. So yeah, that's it. I don't want to talk about Ryzeal anymore or Mitsurugi. That's it. We already know this is the best deck. Moving on. Maliss. Maliss is interesting, right? So let's just break this down a little bit. This should be banned. This to 1, you can play this at, you know, you play 3 of these, I guess, right? You know, maybe you don't play the Dots Keeper. It's up to you. I think me and my buddy Adriel think this is a pretty good card. I think you should play this with the Fiendsmith stuff. I truly do. I think Fiendsmith is the best way to play Maliss. Yeah, it's just too good. It's too good. And then you have the extra deck space for it, so you knock these out, you play this. You have the access code, you have 3 of these, you take this out, you can leave these in, take out the Linker Rebo. We play the 1, the 1, the 1, and then the 1, right? You could play like this small package, right? So you can, and then obviously I think Moon should be banned, right? So that's enough. And like honestly, I think you just like cut Splash Mage. You could. It's just not good. I mean, it's good, but I think this is the better way to play it. So, assuming they don't hit Moon, right? This will be the best way to play Maliss. Right? So you can cut this, play the Moon, right? Because you're making links anyways, right? That's why this is so good. And then you can, you could always, make like, you can make a Link 3 for free. And then if you leave Lacrima engraved, you can use this as a Link 3 to make this. And then you can special it back, right? Even if you don't, right? Like you could go like, use this, special this back, right? And now you have a bow on the field on top of it. And then, because like you can, like I said, you can literally use these 2 cards. Like you can go through the whole combo, right? Shuffle this back so you have it next turn if you want, or like it's up to you. With the Desiree, if you want to send something to the grave, and like make a bow, bring this back, quick effect during the end phase, bring out this. Like it's too good. It's free link fodder. It's just free link fodder. So yeah, with like I said, but with Maliss, right, you just have the amount of like starters and extenders they have. I think it's fine, right? They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they can start with these, right? Initially, I think an interesting hit would be Link Decoder, just getting rid of this card because it prevents them from being like, all right, cool, right? Like having a Bestial in hand, being like normal, any of these, even Chessie. Right, and then they go Link Decoder, Bestial, Banish, and then have 3, and then they have 3 bodies in the field, and then you're just crying because you're just like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do with my life, right? You just and then if the combo is with Magnemite, then you really have to cry because they're gonna search for Pistu at the end, and then you're gonna get cooked because if you're playing Fiendsmith, they're gonna banish your thing. And then they have more like another extender if they need it, which they're gonna search Jura's Worm, which we all know it is a great card. So yeah, it's just unfair. It's just unfair, to be honest. And then obviously getting OTK'd by this deck is nuts. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, this is about everything that I wanted to talk about when it came to the upcoming format. Maliss, Ryzeal, how to play it. One other deck I'm going to talk about. This deck's going to be crazy. We already have more White Forest cards, which I don't know if y'all have seen these. I'll just go ahead and hover over these for a second so y'all can look at them. If you so choose, I'm not going to go over it right now because I have a video planned for this. This deck's going to be nuts. and Droll is already good. It's gonna get even better because this deck loses to Droll. But you can, like I said, you can just main deck Cross out in this deck and then like cook. Yeah. So, thank y'all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the other good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.